It happened again. The world held its breath as the familiar blue and white silhouette appeared on the horizon, signaling the arrival of a moment that would dominate headlines and dinner table conversations alike. Air Force One touched down in the UK, its engines roaring over the tarmac, a symbol of American power and spectacle. The anticipation in the air was almost electric, as if history itself was about to step off the plane. And then Donald Trump, now 79 and deep into his second term, made his grand entrance. Melania by his side, he waved to the cameras, every movement calculated for maximum impact. The red carpet was rolled out with British precision, every corner perfectly aligned. Meanwhile, in the city, Londoners readied their protest signs, some witty, some angry, all determined to be seen and heard. This wasn't just another diplomatic visit, it was Trump's second state visit, a rare honor reserved for only the closest allies. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's invitation had everyone guessing, was this a masterstroke of diplomacy or a political gamble that could backfire? Behind the scenes, staff hustled to perfect every detail. Security was tight, the schedule packed, and the stakes higher than ever. The world's eyes were fixed on London, waiting for the next move. Trump and Melania arrived for royal handshakes and military parades, the pageantry unfolding as tradition demanded. Yet just beyond the velvet ropes, much of the country prepared to protest, politely of course, but with unmistakable passion. The timing was wild. Across the Atlantic, the US was still reeling from the shocking assassination of activist Charlie Kirk, with protests erupting in cities nationwide. In the UK, Starmer had just fired his ambassador over explosive Epstein-linked emails, sending shockwaves through Westminster. Both nations brought their messiest drama to the party, each headline more sensational than the last. Scandal, intrigue, and uncertainty seemed to follow every step, but for a moment, it was all about the optics. Cameras flashed, reporters jostled for position, and every gesture was analyzed in real time by pundits around the globe. Trump descended the stairs, handshakes were firm, smiles were practiced, and the world's media broadcast every second. Every detail, from the angle of a handshake to the length of a smile, was scrutinized for hidden meaning. Was this a new chapter in the US-UK relationship, or just a sequel with familiar plot twists? Analysts debated, historians speculated, and ordinary people wondered what it all meant for the future. One thing was certain, whatever happened next, it wouldn't be boring. The crowds pressed closer, the headlines grew bolder, and the sense of anticipation was palpable. The world watched, waiting to see what would unfold. In living rooms, pubs, and newsrooms, people speculated about what surprises the visit might bring. The show had only just begun, and as the first chapter played out on the world stage, everyone knew the real drama was still to come. The British monarchy knows how to do spectacle, and when it comes to state visits, no one does pageantry quite like them. Every detail is meticulously planned, every moment designed to impress. For President Trump's visit, Windsor Castle was transformed into a fortress of tradition and grandeur. The castle's ancient walls were draped in flags, and security was tighter than ever, signaling the importance of the occasion. Prince William and Princess Kate greeted the Trumps at the grand entrance, creating a perfect photo op that blended modern royalty with global politics. Cameras flashed as the two couples exchanged pleasantries, their smiles carefully choreographed for the world to see. The UK played its strongest card, the royal family's unmatched grandeur. The presence of the royals elevated the event, reminding everyone of Britain's centuries-old traditions and its unique place on the world stage. Military bands filled the air with regal music. A regiment on horseback paraded through the grounds, and a dramatic flypast of British and American jets thundered overhead. The spectacle was both a nod to history and a display of modern alliance. King Charles and Queen Camilla joined the Trumps in a stately carriage procession, waving to carefully selected crowds lining the route. The golden carriages gleamed in the sunlight, a living symbol of royal tradition. It was a show of unity and power, a carefully orchestrated message aimed straight at the president and the watching world. The British were putting on their best face, hoping to charm and impress, but sometimes it's the unscripted moments that steal the spotlight. During the formal greeting, Trump leaned in toward Princess Kate and, in his signature style, said, "You're beautiful, so beautiful." The remark was unexpected, catching even the seasoned royals off guard. The clip of the exchange went viral almost instantly, lighting up social media feeds and dominating headlines. It was classic Trump, unfiltered, headline-grabbing, and impossible to ignore. For a brief moment, the internet and the world seemed to forget about politics, controversies, and negotiations. Instead, everyone was captivated by the sheer spectacle and the unexpected royal compliment. The day's grand events culminated in a lavish state banquet inside Windsor Castle's opulent halls. Here, beneath glittering chandeliers and surrounded by priceless art, real diplomacy unfolded over fine wine and gourmet cuisine. Trump raised a glass to King Charles, calling him a friend, as dignitaries and royals mingled. The UK hoped that the monarchy's magic touch would help smooth over any political bumps and strengthen the special relationship. Sometimes a good dinner party can accomplish more than months of negotiation, breaking the ice and building bridges in ways that official meetings never could. As Windsor Castle glowed against the night sky, the soft power of royalty was on full display, reminding the world that in Britain, tradition and diplomacy go hand in hand. Outside the palace, a different kind of welcome party gathered. No brass bands or red carpets, just a sea of blimps and banners. The air was thick with anticipation and the unmistakable energy of protest. People from all walks of life converged, united by a common message. The now iconic Trump baby blimp soared above the crowd, joined by a growing cast of new inflatables and thousands of witty, sharply worded protest signs. Each sign and balloon was a statement, a piece of political art in motion. London's streets transformed into a living gallery of political dissent, with every corner echoing chants and every avenue filled with colour. The world's media captured the spectacle, broadcasting it to millions across the globe. It was a tale of two cities, royal pomp and ceremony inside, protest art and passionate voices outside. The contrast was striking, almost cinematic. The scale was impossible to ignore. Thousands upon thousands gathered, determined to make sure the visit's narrative wasn't just about official photo ops and state banquets. The protests became global news, splashed across front pages and news broadcasts, highlighting the deep divide in Trump's reception both in the UK and abroad. While world leaders toasted unity and tradition inside, the crowds outside made their opposition unmistakably clear, their voices rising above the palace walls. Diplomacy isn't just for leaders. Public opinion was loud, creative, and impossible to ignore. The streets became a stage for democracy in action. London was a city of competing crowds. Just days earlier, a far-right rally led by Tommy Robinson drew over 110,000 people, with Elon Musk beaming in a fiery video message. The city's political spectrum was on full display. The polarization on the streets matched the divisions seen in America, with supporters and opponents facing off, sometimes just meters apart. The visit didn't just import US politics, it amplified the UK's own divisions, bringing simmering tensions to the surface and sparking new debates. The spectacle inside the palace was rivaled, if not overshadowed, by the spectacle outside. Two worlds colliding in real time. The world was watching both, as London became the stage for a global conversation about power, protest, and the meaning of democracy. Comparing this 2025 visit to Trump's first in 2019 is like watching a sequel with higher stakes. The late Queen Elizabeth hosted last time. Now it's King Charles and a new political landscape. A second state visit is rare. This was a calculated move by Starmer's government. Scandal swirled, the ambassadors firing over Epstein ties, Trump's own lawsuits, and a web of controversy connecting both sides of the Atlantic. The UK bet on royal pageantry as its diplomatic trump card. Trump seemed to enjoy it, but will good vibes lead to real policy? Was this a historic reboot, a divisive spectacle, or just political theatre? Maybe it was all three, a perfect reflection of our times. Ceremony, drama, and viral moments collided. History will judge, but for now the world couldn't look away.